And yes, I'm back with my video for the day, and I don't know if you've seen the thing on MTV they're talking about, if you really knew me, how they do the little school project, to mix up the groups to where, you can see you're not alone, in other words. Well, we did a thing like that when I was in school, and it shocked a lot of people because we did it by the classroom, so yeah, I decided to tell my little, if you really knew me, little tidbit, but just before we get into it, it's something that will probably shock a lot of people that know me. Because I know in class it shocked a lot of people. My teacher was like, oh wow. I mean, if this will be on my Facebook, if you went to school with me and you were not in my class, you will probably be shocked too. And if you are related to me, you probably will be shocked too, because no one really knows about this except, my sisters and my boyfriend and my mother, even though, she really never said anything about it. But here we go. Well, I don't know how to start this off in going into it, but one thing I can say that nobody would ever suspect of me would be that I used to cut myself. Ooh. Hope I don't get into an emotional breakdown, but so far I'm good. Let's see. I used to cut myself, and I used to be very suicidal. All jokes aside, yes, I was. I know people play around like, oh, I take pills to feel good, but no, I really took pills and cut myself. You see, the first thing I can remember of it starting, I was in the 4th grade, I think. Yeah, 4th grade. And we just recently moved back to the country, and I was by myself all the time at home because I'm the baby and all my sisters are like way older than me. My mother worked, and the guy she was with, Anthony, he was working or just wasn't at home, whatever, and so I just hated my life. I hated it. I hated it because I didn't really talk to anybody. I was by myself all the time. I was just depressed. And so one day I was just thinking about a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, I just don't want to be here. So I got a bottle of Tylenol. I remember it to this day. The big white bottle of Tylenol, the family size. I poured it in like a little bowl. Okay, this is a half-liter bottle. The little bowl was about like this big. And I poured as many pills as I could into that bowl. And I sat and I just took them 2 by 2 by 2. I sat there. I know it took me about a good maybe 30 minutes to take them. So I took them, and then I went outside and I sat there. And I went back inside. Emo moment. Edit that out. And I went to sleep. But then I woke up. I'm here, as you see. I woke up. And I was like, okay. I didn't feel weird. So I checked the expiration date. Brand new bottle of pills. They weren't expired for another 2 years. So, watch the news. There was no Tylenol recall or anything of that nature going on then. So I'm just sitting there. I was like, okay. Nothing's happening. So I did my homework, whatever, listened to my music. I went back in my room and I went to sleep. Again. This was on a Friday, so. Saturday morning, the normal routine, waking up bright and early for no reason. I woke up. I didn't feel sick or anything. I just woke up and I just cried. Maybe it's the reason I'm here. Go on to bed and get the phone. Okay, so after that, things got a little better. I was still in between my mood. I tried again, and this time sorry, I had a little moment. I'm good now. Well, later on, eventually, like about maybe a year or so went by. I was like maybe the 6th grade this time. And I cut myself. It was just, I really don't know what made me do it, but I was just, excuse me. I was just, unhappy. I don't know how other people get into doing that, but me, I just wasn't happy. I hated my life. Only thing that I enjoyed was school. Ooh. School was great. But I did. And first time I cut myself, I cut my wrist. Right here and right there. I cut them, you know, scars are not really visible, but because it was so old, but I cut myself. Nothing happened. Because I wore bracelets, so nobody really noticed anything, you know. Cut myself, nothing happened. So then I waited about a week or so. And I don't know why, but I just cut up my arms, just both of them. Like all right here and like all right there. Just cut. And like well, on this arm, which is my left arm, I can still see some of them. Like I have one, I can't see that, but it's one there, and one there. So I just got a razor and I just chop. I was just like, I hope I bleed today. You know, nothing happened again. So I was like, okay. So I waited, you know. It's always like a little rise and fall thing. So this was my rise moment again. This time I was like in the 7th grade. I was in 7th grade, it was like 02. I think 02 or 01, one of those. Or 2000, I don't know. But, oh, let's see. I started just cutting almost every little part of my body I just could think of. I would cut behind my ears. I don't know why, it was weird, so. Cut behind my ears, I cut my wrist again. Then I started cutting my fingers right there in the first little knuckle notch. I would cut there and I would cut between my fingers. I cut down the back part of my ankle, going down. I cut between my toes. I cut my toe, you know, the little piece right there. I cut that. I just kept cutting and I did it so many times to where, you know, my fingers are like numb to pain. I don't really feel anything on my fingertips. It's messed up. But after that, you know, I was in middle school, so you know, everybody goes through a little body change thing. No, my body change went very early. I started